Okay, so today you're going to be learning how to work with some of the different art elements. I just wanted to show you my example. When I set it in the stand, it gets to be a little bit too small. The main ones that we're going to be focusing on are space, pattern, and line. Okay, we're going to use line to draw some block letters, and then we are going to create a sense of positive and negative space by using some different patterns. Okay, so again, line you should be familiar with. We have many different types of lines, and you can use all these different types of lines in your final patterns. What we're considering today, what we're spending most of our time on is our element of space. And what we're focusing on this time is positive and negative space. Okay, so positive space is what we want the viewer to look at. So here we want the viewer to look at the teddy bear. So that would be our positive space, the object that the viewer is looking at, not the space around it. Here they have flipped it, this teacher has flipped it and given the negative space or the empty space a blue to show you how it stands out. Space, it's the distance or area between, around, above, below, or within things. So again, we're focusing on positive and negative space. So on this part of the drawing, the positive space would be the bike and the negative space would be the empty white space. But then the artist took and they colored in the negative space and left the positive space white. So they flipped it. So that makes you really look at the contour and the shape of the object. So again, here's another one that talks about positive and negative space. So first we have a stool here, okay, so this is a picture. So the stool itself is the positive space, the empty white space would be the negative space. So here it shows the stool as just a black image. So again, it's the positive space, the empty white space would be the negative space. And then here they flip-flopped it. So what we're going to be doing today is essentially the same thing. We are going to be flipping our positive and negative space. So instead of drawing in where we want the person to look, which would be our name, we're going to fill the space around our name. So it's really key. If you notice here, I have not outlined my letters. You are able to see my letters because I filled in the negative space with pattern. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to work on a slightly smaller scale for my demonstration, just so you can see it better here on the viewer. So the first thing I would recommend doing is drawing a line through the middle of your paper. So you can start by measuring the ends. Like I said, I'm working a little bit smaller. It depends on what size I decide to leave for the day. So you might measure the total length. So mine is 8.5, so I'm working 4 1/4 to find that middle here. And then very, very lightly, I'm going to take and draw a baseline for my letters. So then on the bottom of this line, or I could center my letters on this line. So I think I'm going to work with my last name today. So I'm going to start, I could start by very, very lightly drawing some stick letters. Now I'm hoping you can see these, not too bad. And I want to leave some space between them, or you could work one at a time. But I like to kind of map it out first to see that I'm filling the whole page with my letters. Okay, so I've got my last name there. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to draw on the outside of that stick letter. Again, you want to keep this light because eventually we will erase this. Okay, so there would be my block letter G. And so now I can go back in and I can erase my stick letter inside. Now that I have my name, I can go back through and erase my guideline. Same thing with my horizontal line. I can leave it if I want to, but I don't need it.